Third grade, today you are going to complete your Wild Thing artworks. And so if you've gotten ahead and you've already added color to the whole thing, that's okay. You can go back and work into it a little bit more, or today you can write a story. If you write a story, you need to create a Google Doc, type that story out, and then send that to me as you're handed in. Or you can just finish coloring your Wild Things. So let me talk to you a little bit about how I'm finishing this. And again, you can see that I've outlined it in marker. Right over here, I actually just used crayon, and I have this little tiny broken piece of black crayon. Where did it go? Here we go. Okay. And all I did was I just pressed hard with the crayon on the edge and then colored it softly. And so if you don't have markers, you could use crayons, or even with your colored pencils, you could trace something and then fill it in lightly with the colored pencil. So let's jump back into it. I was working here in my sky. And I really think when you're using crayon or colored pencil, the pressure is the most important part. And that's going to help it look real. It's going to help it look much neater. And so I'm sort of drawing around the parts that I don't want filled in. And then I'm filling them in lightly. So again, I can sort of put a little bit of a barrier. Can you see how I put that blue right there? And then as I fill it in, I will be less likely to go into that next space. The outline helps as well. When you're filling in a sky, you want most of your lines to be horizontal. That means going across. That will help the sky look real. If you go up and down in your sky in lots of different directions, sometimes that can be distracting. And so I think, again, it's about taking your time using soft pressure with your color and being really careful around the edges of things so that you don't go into that space. Another really great thing can happen with crayon and colored pencil. You can blend colors as well. And so this could be an option if you've already lightly colored your artwork the first time and you want to spend a little bit more time learning how to blend those colors. In a big open space like this, I can work a little faster, but you can see that my crayon strokes or my crayon marks are really close together, and I have even pressure happening through that part. If you have a lot of sky, I might consider adding some things into it, maybe adding some more leaves or some tree branches. You could certainly add a sun or stars or a moon, or even comets or shooting stars or things like that. Here we go. Now I'm over here and I'm going to just turn my page to have my crayon follow the curve of this neck. I would really like you to add color to the whole thing. And so that's why we did it in two parts. So last week it was part one, adding color to half, and then today is part two, finishing the color. Now, it will take me longer than a video to finish coloring this, so I'm not going to make you watch me color in the whole thing. That might feel a little silly. But I did want to just show you and talk with you a little bit about pressure. The other idea, the way your crayon moves, that's called the directionality of your marks, or the direction of your marks. Okay, when you're finished, take a nice close-up and send that in. Also, you'll see a class page today, maybe you saw it last week, called Virtual Art Show. So that's something that I'm going to put together this week for you. Next week will be our last art class. So I'll have something special for you next week as well as the Virtual Art Show. Okay, take your time. If you need to do a little bit of it today and a little bit of it tomorrow to make a beautiful work instead of rushing it to get it all done today, that's okay too. Or you can send it to me later in the week. I will give you feedback about your drawings, and I can't wait to see them.